Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. Meet the presenters. Today, I am delighted to be joined by Sue Peacock. Sue is a consultant health psychologist who uses hypnotherapy and has been doing this for 25 years. Unbelievable. Wow. Sue, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thanks very much, Andy.
You're very
Really nice
welcome.
to see you.
Lovely to see you again. And there's many people who have seen you present before, many people who will know who you are. And I've been privileged enough to be at your presentations. But for those people who maybe don't know, if you wouldn't mind, could you give us a little bit of a background as to you, who you are and what you do, please?
Yeah, so I'm Dr. Sue Peacock. I'm, as you said, a consultant health psychologist who uses hypnotherapy as one of my sort of treatment modalities, for want of a better phrase.
Okay.
Um, I guess my specialism is long-term health conditions and especially chronic pain, and I've worked in that field for forever. um,
Okay.
I'm published in the media and
Yeah.
in academia, and I've written a few books. I do a bit of training, particularly along around sort of long-term health conditions and things like that. So yeah, I keep busy. Yeah, I've got a 3 month waiting list. So yeah,
Wow.
it's all busy, busy.
It's very busy. So, just from my own interest, whenever you talk about long-term health
Mm.
conditions, what examples would you give of those?
So obviously chronic pain or
Mm.
persistent pain. I work with people with cancer at kind
Okay.
of all stages of their journey. I
Okay.
work with people with, say, respiratory illnesses,
Mm.
dermatology issues, all kind of medical issues, I guess, sort of
Okay.
that are sort of lifelong conditions that people have to learn to live with and manage.
Yeah.
And I
So,
also sort of do things like overcoming fear of surgery and medical
oh yeah.
procedures and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So you would work with, obviously not obviously, but potentially you would work with people who maybe have like chronic arthritic conditions or
Yes.
right, okay. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've had quite a few inquiries about things like that, and it's something that I have a personal interest in because I've something
Mm-hmm.
like that myself. So when you mentioned that, I was going, "Oh, tell me more."
Yeah.
So
It's brilliant. It's fascinating.
it
It
really,
really
really
is.
is. It really, really is. And I will pull at that more at a later date. But
Okay.
so the likes of the presentation that you're doing with us next time.
Mm.
Why should people come and see you? What is it that you're going to talk about? What are the main takeaways you want people to have? And realistically, just without giving it all away, what is the bare bones of what you're talking to us about in April?
So the bare bones of my talk is I think as sort of public interest in brain science is increasing, isn't it? And I think
Yeah.
that the hypnotherapists that can confidently explore and explain their work sort of through a neuro sort of scientific informed lens kind of can set themselves apart a little bit in
Yeah.
the competitive marketplace because it
Yeah.
really is getting more and more competitive, isn't it?
Mhm.
So my presentation is going to be looking at understanding those sort of key neuroscience concepts such as neuroplasticity, the default mode network, and the brain's predictive coding system. Because not only do they enhance our therapeutic outcomes,
Yeah.
but they can also boost our credibility, our client engagement,
Yeah.
and most importantly, professional referrals.
Yeah.
And the more referrals we get, the bigger our practices get. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be talking about.
Okay. Okay. So that's something that will have many people's ears prick up, mine in particular, because there's a lot of things there. Like we all have a very solid base of all the attendees, and people who want to attend will want to get to as high a level as they can.
Mm.
And whenever you're talking about neuroplasticity and the coding systems and things like that, could you just elaborate a little bit on what? Talk to me as if I'm stupid. You won't have to try hard, right? But it's like the likes of a little bit more about what you mean by the neuroplasticity and what way that would benefit someone who's attending.
So what I'm going to talk about is how we can use those neuroscience concepts in that we have, and there's lots of them. That's just a few of them, but how we can use them to educate our patients,
Yeah.
inform them, and not just our patients, but our wider network referrals, particularly as you know, I have quite a lot of medical people referring to me. So it's
Okay.
about using those concepts, isn't it, to explain them, to look at the way the brain changes things, the way we can use those connections to move people forward through that change process. Um, it can help our clients feel more reassured, empowered. It reduces stigma, and hopefully increases that motivation for them to change.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that will appeal to most people, I suppose, is getting that medical referral because, you know, that's something that isn't very prevalent at the moment. You know, there's a few of us who, like yourself, who get referred by medical people. That's something that I think we would like to. Well, the whole concept of what the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference is about one, generating community, two, generating awareness of hypnotherapy and making it more mainstream. That's something that really interests me because the likes of if we can learn how to what's the right word harness that collaboration, you know, so that we're no longer the fringe person who
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
someone cluck like a chicken, bark like a dog, all that stuff. We
yeah.
do that, but that's for fun. But whenever it comes to like what we talked about earlier before we started this,
Mhm.
you know, we have serious things where people come
We do.
where in actual fact, you know, I won't go into detail, but the girl that I was talking about, you know, was 32, but 16 years prior, she had had a really horrific experience, you know? And for 16 years, she'd carried a lot of baggage because she had nowhere to go. Whereas if she, you know, that she went to the doctor, they gave her pills, you know, that she didn't want that. Trying to get that alternative branch off, you know, if we're able to talk, I suppose what you're saying is if we're able to talk at a more, let me get the wording right, not medical level, but sort of informed, educated level. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
think so. I think so. And I think, there is when I write to GPs or medical people, or go and do talks for them, I do talk about the evidence base because that's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of their language, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
So
Yeah,
so I think that helps, and I think because there's science in if
yeah.
we explain neuroscience and things like that, if we can explain it through that point of view, I think that kind of makes them think, oh, okay,
Yeah,
this is perhaps there is something in this.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, so I think it's important that if we're looking for medical referrals, we need to start speaking their language.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah,
That's a key takeaway. That's something that I think we could all learn, and that's what I would say to people. You know, if you're well, as you're attending the conference, I think come and see Sue because there's going to be Dr. Sue. I apologize.
oh,
There,
that's fine. I never
no,
use
I
that
I know
really.
you don't, but you said it at the start, and I was like, oh, whoops, because I'm reading at the bottom of the screen and it says Dr. Sue Peacock, and I went, I
That
left that
just
out.
that just comes up for my clients.
Yeah, no, but it's earned, so there we go. And you know, the thing is, all those things that we've just talked about are absolutely key things that people will want to know. So yeah, I look forward to your presentation. So,
Thank you.
thirdly, and finally, very briefly, in your own words, let's say someone's watching this
Mhm.
and they're going, "Oh, I'd love to go, or I'd love to learn a bit more, or I'd like to even start." Or even you've been practicing for a while, what would you say to someone is the best reason to come to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference?
Well, that's a good question, isn't
Yeah, sorry
it?
about
No, 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 it's a good question.
that.
I think the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference is an amazing conference. It's only been going a short time, hasn't it? But wow, hasn't it
Four,
grown? And
four goes,
it's
4 years.
it's just amazing.
Yeah,
I think there's a really lovely sense of community there.
yeah,
Everybody's included. Um, there's the opportunity to speak to so many people. There's the great and good in hypnotherapy world there, isn't there? I've
yeah,
just
yeah.
looked at the
There really are.
program,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and everybody's so approachable, aren't
yeah.
they? And it's a friendly atmosphere. You can learn lots.
Mhm.
Um, no such thing as a silly question. Just ask people.
Correct.
Absolutely, come along. Absolutely, it's a great atmosphere. Really lovely people. Really brilliant sense of community. So many amazing speakers. Just so much to learn.
Yeah. No, in a nutshell, that's the perfect answer. So, but no, it
It's my
is.
true answer.
It is. Well, I know it's the true answer. It's one of those things. It's like we're trying to get everybody's opinion and take on what it is, and everybody's saying the same thing, you know. And
Hmm.
it is fantastic to hear, and especially from well established and well respected and well knowledge people. That's not a very good way of saying that, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna spit the bricks out, Andrew. But to everybody watching, I would encourage you to come and see Sue at the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. And all I would like to do now is thank you for your time and thank you for getting together with us and sharing what you're going to talk about. And I look forward to seeing you next year in April.
Yeah. Thanks ever so much, Andy. Look forward
All
to
right.
seeing you there.
We will. See you then.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.